All right, another one. So we got Antler Lockin now. Antler Lockin. We're going to try to go Diamond AI, do Antler Lockin, show you guys how we work our way through Antler and see what we can do. For the most part, it's not going to be too different than like Yuzora, for instance. We just need to be a little bit more careful on 3. Give me my Antler.
Welcome to
Oh, we're actually looking real strong on the start. So what I'm seeing here is I've got Antler for start if I wanted to. I could theoretically cat here. But since this is an Antler Antler lock-in video, I'm going to start Antler and we'll build around it. I think that's the way to do it. I think that's the most logical way to do it. I don't think I need Warg here because I already have Antler as my natural tank. Then looking, I might pick up something like Ranger here, but then I'd have to drop like Millennium. So I'm thinking this will probably be fine for early game. I think this will be fine. We should be good to go with what we've got here. I've got answer for tank early. I've got an answer for 7 and 8, as well as 3. Got an answer to help me out on 5, 6, 9. 10 is going to be a little bit of a question mark, but I think if we just drop a Millennium or even just have a couple Windhawks and Nikos with Antlers, we should be okay. My late game units right now are Millennium and Lord of Death, which are pretty solid late game units. Right now we can go 4 workers with Antler. We got to send, so we actually probably can go 5 workers. We do have to be a little careful on 3. We may need to make sure we can get a Nico down, as well as like maybe a Proton for a split, or just Nico with a buff or 2. We'll see what the game gives us for some value. So we got 124 gold, minus 50. Oh. That equals 74. I think if we can get another snail out next, this coming wave, I think it may make sense to try to go for the worker push and do a Nico with a split. We might leak on 3, but that's fine. That's fine by me if we leak 3. Our teammate is relatively strong, 3, and I don't think the bot with the fire elemental is going to have a whole lot to send to us. So what I'll do is, again, we're at 74, so I'm going to send the snail, so we're at 80. That gives me enough to get Nico as well as a Proton for next wave. 60 and 20, 80. I should be solid then. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to probably send another snail here next wave to make sure I get that Antler. I want the other Antler to leak if I can. So I'm going to do one there, and then I'm going to put the Proton in the split. I think I'll do even split here, because I want it to take some aggro, but not like suicide it right away. We'll get the extra snail. We'll go 2 snails then. Same with our teammate who went double snail. The double snail will not leak the fire elemental, but that's fine. See if I can get the Antler here. I don't know if I'll get the Antler. I do believe, though, with this send, we might hold. The cat did take a little bit more aggro than I wanted, but that's fine. It's dealing enough damage, and it's split tanking, which is, you know, what you want. We might pro leak with the Antler, but the Antler is pretty solid here in terms of damage. It does 2 hit. So I'll go 6 worker here no matter what. We got lucky. They're pretty lousy send. Got us a good situation. If they would have DT'd here, we might have leaked more. Leaked, period. We full hold here. Since the other guy has an Antler with a Harpy, I'm just going to send here. I'm going to income send until 7, roughly. And that's the wave I want to try to leak him. 7. I'm going to up the cat twice, because I already have a good tank here. I just need damage that's Pierce. Looking good there. I think what I might be able to do for next is if I can DT him on 5, I might be able to get through the Antler. Theoretically, the only thing I'm really looking at that could get through him commonly is an imp, which I'm not going to be going for because I just don't obviously have the value. to go for imps. Or the workers, I should say. My plan is then to just continuously buff this cat. The cat should be full stacks here off this wave. This coming send and wave. My teammate is holding with a fully stacked angler, which is super good, with that sand badger. By the way, that'll probably be the next video, sand badgers, so that's good to see. We're going to fully max our cat here. It gains a lot more damage now, as well as sets us up really nicely for 7. The only downside to doing this where I max cat here is I'm kind of lacking on impact damage, but the antler's good enough. It's good enough here, and I'm sitting in a good enough situation. I'm going to send again here, and then probably shift the rest of my Mythium from next wave into a larger send on 7 or 8. 7 or 8, 1 of 2. Positive, the Infiltrator is getting targeted right away. Looks like it is dying. The Antler is still tanking really nicely, though, and our DT died, so we will not get through him here. What I'll probably do now is drop a Windhawk like right behind the Antler, just because I want some more damage on this coming wave. And it looks currently like the bot's maybe going for a 6 or 7 send on us. My teammate's really bad on 6, so that might be where the bots are planning on hitting us. I mean, my teammate's obviously very bad even here, so we'll see kind of what happens. Yep, so we're 200 under here. That's to be expected. What I'll probably do is I'll probably drop the Windhawk, and I'm going to drop a second cat. Knowing the bots, seeing, even regular people, seeing this Antler, this screams, don't send me on anything but magic waves. So I think they might go 7 and 8 on me. If that's the case, I'll have another good stacked cat, and I'll be able to hold those waves. 120 send here, though. I should have no problem taking this all out. Obviously, always depends on the aggro. The Windhawk here getting targeted early does kind of stink, but the Brute is also getting targeted, so we're sitting in a decent spot. I will probably leak this. Depends on if the Brute gets targeted next. And nope, the cat decided to go after the Rocco that's full HP. That's good. Okay, it does at least kill the Brute. 55% leak, that's fine. In this situation, if I would have went something like double Windhawk, I might have held better. But I'm kind of hedging my bets that they go on 7, as I'm relatively strong here. I think a little bit better aggro, maybe a little bit better split, I probably would hold better. The fact that the Brute got targeted early kind of stinks. Could be worse, though. Thankfully, the AI kills all but 2. I'm going to go for imps here. Imps, I think, are the play. I'll push another worker here and then push this 3. I'm relatively strong here. I think I can push another worker, get me up to 8 workers. And I'm going to try to go for something like a Windhawk next. Because, again, I've got cats. I don't think people are going to send me on 7 or 8. Chat trying to troll me. That's fine. Okay, the income send me here. That's easy clap. We're just going to push 2 workers off this. 60 send. And we'll see over here what happened. They did get a canopy upped. Just for this wave, it looks like. It looks like canopy is going to be enough. It's going to hold them pretty darn well. My bot died here. That's good. That's a pretty big send he got here. I'm holding, and I should hold a lot of his leak. Should be no problem whatsoever. The bot I sent against did leak 24%, but that's not really that great. What's sad here is, technically speaking, my bot with the Sand Badger should be really strong in this wave. It's just he's invested a ton in a bunch of units that really don't help him on the wave. A bunch of consorts here really aren't beneficial. I would have rather seen him go damage. That wouldn't die in 2 seconds. But you know, it is what it is. I'm going to income send here just because we did get some king damage here. It's a long wave now. I'm feeling a little bit more vulnerable next. We're going to go Dino. I think Dino's a fine play. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to drop another Windhawk here on the left and then double up this cat. So it's a 5 stack instead of just a 4 or 3. We're again pretty strong here. I'm still going to try to go for Windhawk for 9. I'm sitting a little bit rough now in terms of damage on 10 still. Cats do quite a lot of damage, but it's kind of a little tough sometimes to get through them. I get the cats to do a ton of damage. King ups here are super helpful. I'm going to push 1. 11 workers. I'm going to see if my send was enough to leak the double Cano Wild Shrooms combo. Looks like they've got enough damage. Looks like they are fine. My teammate sent here. And it looks like the AI with the Fire Elemental will hold. This is a lot closer than I would have thought. Will leak. Wow. That's a good leak by my bot. That's huge. Gets that one bot a little bit behind. Fire Elemental bot's looking pretty solid here. Next wave was actually the wave I thought the bot was going to send on because it's a little bit better for us to send on. A little bit better for him to send on, I should say. So what I'm looking at here is I'm above the value. So I'm on value. I got an 80 cent last, or 100 cent last. I got my Violet. I'm going to go another worker here. So I got 277 for next wave. What I'm thinking I probably do is try to king up. Not king up. Well, I could king up regen here because I know I'm not getting my guy here and he's pretty strong next, and then shift for 12. And I think that's what I'm going to do. If the bots send me here on 10, I'm sitting really solid right now for shifting for Venture. So what I'm going to do here after the send is I think I'm going to go a second Antler. I'm going to place it up front, in front of the Windhawks, to the right. So I don't have to adjust my split very much. We hold here though. And then I'm going to start looking for potentially taking Venture. Venture is going to be, I think, my best play. You'll see I boosted ahead of the bots now quite significantly because I'm getting sent often. I'm going to push 1 worker off this 80 send. Though I'm still trying to play for Venture, so I don't want to push too much. If I push too much, the Venture is going to be almost unreachable. That's kind of the thing with Venture. You got to play around it if you want to go for it. We got Venture or Creditor, which are both solid options. Creditor might be a little easier to obtain. We'll kind of see what we're looking at for value on these couple waves. I'm going to go like that, and then we're going to max out this cat. So it's full stacked, just because I need it a little stronger for this wave. The reason why I don't try to go for Millennium is if I try to go for Millennium here, I'm going to be extremely, extremely weak on wave 11 and 10. Excuse me, 11 and 12. 11 and 12. I'll be extremely weak, which if I want to Venture or go Creditor, I need to be strong on those waves. So you notice I'm a lot higher in value than my bot is. So I'm a little bit nervous now about going for Venture, but I think we send here. I think we might be able to get him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just send Drake because I'm trying to get through the 2 antlers that my enemy has. And then a couple small units. I'm going all income because I'm going to try to Venture here, even though I'm a little bit... I wouldn't call myself weak next wave, but I'm a little bit behind. So we can Venture, potentially. Let's see what we got for value. I don't like Guardian Angel with this composition. I just don't. It just doesn't really give me a whole lot. Predator just doesn't help me a whole lot either. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take Venture, and I'm just going to full build here. The rest of it, I obviously have to, if I want any chance of holding. So I could theoretically do something else here, but I'm just going to place these two right here. Make a clump, make it so they're all pretty close so that when the split hits, it doesn't kill them. Then I'm going to king up the rest because I did go Venture. I want to make sure even if I do leak, the king is strong enough. And they king upped us. Perfect. So Venture was pretty easy grab here. One of them went, both of them went Guardian Angel, so we're sitting pretty good in terms of our ability to outscale them now. I'm going to push one worker here. Do I push two? Push two. 240 resend. I'm only going to push two though because I'm going to try to get an Antler here and then be strong again on the next wave. So I'll push three because I have enough. I need to get just one Antler down. If I leak here, it's fine. It's not great. Obviously, you want to hold on 12. But with Venture here and 140 king up sent to me and 220 sent to my teammate, I think that was all the Mythium the bots had outside of whatever little they're going to get here. Which I think is completely fine then. We'll see what happens though. It's one of those things like I kind of wish I could speed up the solo gameplay. So 160 full actual send, I should say, not resend, but actual send. So depending on when these brutes get targeted and killed, we're sitting actually a lot better. Okay, one brute's dead. What do we got left? So one Antler and then our pierce damage backline. We're gonna push pretty hard here, even if we leak, because I got Venture coming up next wave, and Venture is extremely strong. Oh, that's unfortunate. Targeting the brute. My bot is also leaking, it looks like, but that's fine. What did my bot take? He took Guardian Angel, okay. So I'll be able to get a Millennium pretty easily for next wave. Or go something like Antler upped. We will see though. We are still very in the lead right now. King ups. The king is fine. King can protect himself for a little bit here. We're not giving them much value on this wave. And I think what I'm going to do next is go 14. We're going to reroll now. Woo! Okay, that's nice. So we get a reroll of Great Boar, which is really solid. And then I'm going to I think that's it. Okay, so our Millennium should do enough here. We'll still get enough to send. Still get enough to get the Millennium upgraded after our send. And we'll full hold this, or should full hold this, or close to it. Triple Brute, man, they just know. They know my MO. What is operandi? So we're going to send here, just because I think we can leak our guy. We're going to send... quite big here. We're going to go Doomsday up for this wave. We'll push another worker because we're 60 over. Then we're sitting at enough to probably send another set of imps. I think this is our kind of our, like, I don't want to call this a kill shot, but this is a really good opportunity for us to get a good damage on the wave. I think, yeah, we can get some good pressure here. Only a 140 resend into me. I've got a really strong unit in the Doomsday. I'm looking just at what to see how this goes. My pack leader's getting sniped. That stinks. That does kind of limit how much damage I can do to King and really the rest of the wave. How's my enemy doing? How's my I should say my friendly doing on his end? Looks like that's going to be a leak. They do have a full King. I'm holding though. My teammate is leaking quite big. That does worry me a little bit. Though I'm sitting relatively good myself. That's pretty big leaks. We'll get some good value here. I should kill 1 to 2 of these small units or a large unit in as well. Like the Brute. 2 small units. Brute killed? No, very close. Very, very close. I think I go 14, 16 next. 16 I think next is our best play. So what I'm going to do is, I know I'm relatively strong here. I'm going to white main, just so that my antlers get a little bit stronger. Same thing with my Nikomata and all that. I'm going to kill one of these units in the split, and move it all the way up top so that my boars can start getting run time. I think that's a pretty solid idea at this point. Getting a little runtime out of the boar, kind of stun the wave, allow these units to deal some, I guess really the Doomsday to deal some damage. But I'm also hoping that my teammate holds here. This is probably his best wave. I really need my teammate to hold here if I want to win, to not leak and die here. It kind of depends though, really heavily on what targeting and aggro's like here. We got some actually relatively good splash damage, but the problem I'm seeing right now is that none of my damage dealer in the Doomsday is targeting like the babies, and Doomsday is just solo killing everything, so we might actually lose here. My teammate's pretty strong. I almost killed the boss. This is just unfortunate aggro. Look at how everything's super low. I'm very close to holding this full. 1 to 2 units is all it really difference was. My teammate does hold here, which is good because I was not that strong on this wave. What we're going to do is send here though. Make sure we signify to our teammate that we are sending here, because the bot will listen to you. If you tell it you're sending, it'll send as well. We do take a little damage here. That's fine. I was more or less preparing for this wave rather than last. But we will see how this goes. So this might be another race again. We'll see. I don't think I'll leak to a small send next. My mate did build flowers. They're just in a really bad positioning. Right now I'm shut downable because I'm very far ahead of the enemy. And the few times I have leaked have been small leaks. So the downside is every time I leak, they're gaining some type of value from it, right? 240 send. I should hold this, though it will be close. I'm not that strong this wave. It really comes down to if my Doomsday is getting good hits. If my Doomsday gets good hits, I'm looking a lot better. If not, I'm leaking. This might be game though. My teammate's very weak. And I'm not going to hold very much of his leak, if any. No, I don't hold any of his leak. I leak myself, it looks like. Well, that's sad. I think this is the first loss we've had against Diamond AI. I do think we could have held this wave better ourselves if I would have played a little bit more strategically. Something like a Lord of Death last wave would have been just fine. The thing I really lack with this roll is damage outside of Windhawks and Millenniums. I think when I re-rolled, I should have taken Radiant Halo, and I think it would have been a much better attempt at winning. But regardless, this is still how to play Antler. Antler you can utilize as a main tank. I think if I were to take Radiant Halo and drop something like Windhawk instead, it would have been a very expensive roll, don't get me wrong. I don't know if that's really the play. The problem is I had bad damage dealers for these late game waves. I needed a damage dealer here. Even if I would have, I think, did a single LOD instead of the boar, I probably would have been better off. My teammate leaking, though, super hard on 16 leaves me in a really bad spot because even if I hold, I'm having to hold enough to not kill us with 29%. So I think I need to play a little bit more conservatively with some of my pushing here and build a little bit more damage based. A little bit more damage based, and I think I would have been fine. It still is what it is. It's still a good example of how to play Antler, just maybe a bad example of how to win the game. So hope you guys liked the video. Catch you later.